Hello friends. So I made this video demonstrating how I do my Modified Sun Salutation, which is a completely laying on the floor, a supine or reclined sun salutation. I first developed this while I was actively teaching yoga, and it is now my preferred practice as it is very helpful for me with my fatigue and balance issues. So I like to start by just doing some slow breathing, getting into my body, kind of feeling where there's any pain, tension, misalignment, and just noticing it at first. And then, making some small adjustments. My feet are off screen, but you would see that one tilts far to the side as I have a pelvic tilt. And, then taking the moment to bring my shoulder blades underneath me, pull my shoulders down away from my neck and my ears, and just coming to a really good natural alignment. And you can think of this as, laying down supine mountain pose. So I follow through with a similar flow as I would standing, taking deep breaths, reaching arms overhead, feeling into my shoulders and the upper back, opening up my chest, just really elongating. Here is modified like Uttasana or like chair pose, just taking a moment to really feel into my body. And I go through this a few times, taking the stretch and the chest opening a little deeper each time. And then I go into, this would be my version of a lunge. So we're hitting the same muscle groups here as with a standard lunge, only I don't have to worry about fighting gravity and wearing myself out. And then again, just continuing to go through that vinyasa style flow, just flowing with each breath and movement. You'll notice that even though I'm not standing on my feet, I still keep my feet flexed as if I were standing, as if I was on the ground. I like to keep that for alignment and also to really finish the pose. That muscular energy has to go somewhere, and so keeping everything activated. Even if we're on the ground, we're still holding to alignment and full body activation. I'm still engaging my core, breathing deeply, taking my time. So we've got like a deeper lunge on this one. Again, sorry I wasn't able to get everything into view, but I'm holding both my feet flexed as though they were weight bearing, and it's easy for the knee to kind of fall to the side when you're doing this on your back, so I like to support my leg with my other hand to keep my knee in proper alignment. And you can do all of this, on the floor like I am here. You can also do it in bed as well, and I often go through this routine in bed before going to sleep, or to help wake myself up in the morning, especially when I have a lot of stiffness in the morning. So And again, that's a modified chair pose. We're just kind of giving the body movement. It's not necessarily going to give you the same stretch or the same benefits as a traditional chair pose, but I still include it because it's getting other benefits. You know, moving the hips and like opening up the pelvis. So here, you'll probably be able to see it a little better when I do the other side, but this is my modified supine warrior 1. So I'm holding in that lunge and then taking the other arm, I like to do both sides, other arm out straight, and the lower foot again is flexed as if weight bearing, and I'm pushing the energy through my heel. You see me kind of shifting my leg from side to side as I pull into that lunge. You know, sometimes if you have a little extra flesh here and there, you have to move around it. So making sure that each pose is comfortable. And again, as you can see, doing both sides, both arms. Ideally, that shoulder would be on the ground, but I'll admit I hadn't practiced in quite some time before doing this video, and it's inspired me to really get back onto my practice. Then pulling in the leg and taking the foot across. So this is a modified supine pigeon pose. Really great for the rotators. I was in my wheelchair all day on this day, so now it's great for conserving my energy, but it does tend to cause a lot of tension in my hips and low back just being seated all day. So this one is really nice to do after, you know, whether I'm working at my desk all day or if I'm at an event like I was on this day and rolling around in my chair. So here I'm taking arms and legs out to the side, kind of like a big like starfish pose. And again, just allowing myself to really feel the openness in my body and just enjoy. This isn't really so much of a stretch as just like feeling into it. You may notice that I have a very deep lordotic curve, the curve in my lower back, and so that can look like I'm stretching the back more than I actually am. I just naturally have a very deep arch in my back because I have an extra joint in my spine. So my S1 is not connected to the rest of my sacrum. So you saw those twists, and then I roll over onto my belly, and this is for the next modification. So again, I'm taking legs wide and going into triangle which I'll post a photo taken over above me so that you can see that. I'll insert that here. And one of the cool things about doing like triangle pose on the floor is that, you know, it forces you to think about your alignment in a different way. Not forces you, forces, it's kind of an intense word, but it gives you the opportunity, let's say, it gives you the opportunity to experience your alignment in a different way, because you aren't just free floating in space as when you are standing, but rather you have something flat that you're right up against. When I was doing more active yoga teaching and posture clinics, this is a technique that I would use for people who were often over twist or overextend themselves in certain poses, particularly ones like triangle, warrior, either on the floor or against the wall, so that you can really feel where your alignment needs to be. As my teacher used to tell me, imagine that you're between two panes of glass. So here we're doing a deeper side stretch. Man, it's been a minute. I'm not remembering all of my yoga terms, but so this would be like a side lunge, like a deep reach. You want to be aware of your pelvis in this position. I'm pretty tight, so my pelvis is kind of torquing up a little bit, and I know now that's something that I need to give some attention to with my body. And then coming out of it with like, rather than an up dog, doing like a cobra, or I think I was actually doing more like a seal pose where I had my legs open. And of course, my favorite, Balasana, child's pose. Oh, we love that lower back decompression. And then just doing some cat-cows for good measure. If I was teaching a full class, this would be where I would be shifting from using supine sun salutation as a warm-up and shifting into full practice, shifting to getting to standing or upright with using cat-cow and bear as a transition. But this is my practice, so I'm done, and I'm gonna take Shavasana and breathe into my body and feel how my alignment has changed. So I hope that you found this helpful, and feel free to throw any questions in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.